So today we're going to take a look at my personal top 5 things that you guys should be investing in for 2023. Let's get right into the video. So you might be wondering, what's out there right now that's really cheap that I could get, or that you could get, or that I could tell you, say, hey, be on the lookout for this, that's within probably in the $5 to $10 to $20 range ish. There's a few things. First of all, we're gonna go through EX stamped reverses. Okay, that's a biggie, or just EX reverses in general. We're gonna take a look at Delta species commons. Okay, we're also gonna be taking a look at some modern cards such as tag teams from the previous Sun and Moon era. We're also going to be looking at EX era non-holo rares, and finally finishing it off with just PSA 8s in general. So first things first, folks, let's get right into what I'm talking about here. EX stamped reverses. This guy right here. I know it's in a PSA 8 form, just pretend it's not graded, all right? This guy right here, mint condition, you can get for probably about $5, all right? I got this from a seller on Whatnot, graded it, and it graded an 8. So I was lucky and fortunate enough to find a pretty good condition one. Otherwise, you know, if you go on eBay, you might not find ones in this great of a shape. They probably will have tons of scratches or warping or just peeling maybe. I have seen that on some of the EX reverses. But for the price of a modern day booster pack, you can get yourself a holographic, because it is technically a holo, it's a reverse foil. The EX reverses, sometimes they have a stamp, sometimes they just have the foil. Taking a look at this one, see, this is from Hidden Legends. Hidden Legends didn't do the stamps for some reason, but they do have the cool foil background, right? But this guy right here, I got for $5, right? $5. And you know, I see all these people on YouTube saying, oh, invest in this, invest in that. And it's like, invest in this. And they say, oh, get a whole case of Evolution's booster boxes, or get a whole booster box from this set from today's time. And like, I get that. Like, obviously booster boxes are a great investment, but not everybody has $100 or $200 to drop on a, you know, or even $300 now for Evolving Skies to drop on a booster box to keep sealed. So we're here. I'm here for you guys that are looking for the steals and deals. All right. And the purpose of this video isn't to say, oh, buy this now so that you can have more money later. No, it's buy this now so you don't have to pay more later. That's always been my philosophy. All right. So now that that's out of the way, EX reverses, you can get these pretty easily for $5. There's some out there, yes, like Blastoise, like, you know, Delta species holos and reverses from Crystal Guardians or any Delta species. They'll probably be a little bit more. I know some of the EX Deoxys, like some of the higher end old school EX sets, they can be very expensive. I think I saw one going for like $30. It was like a Marowak from EX Team Rocket Returns. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, it's cool, you know, but you could get 6 of these guys for the price of that one. So just kind of see what you are into, and obviously like collect what you like, because at the end of the day, if you look at this and it's worth nothing, at least you like the look of it, versus, you know, if you hate the look of it and it's worth $1 million and then it tanks to 0, then you're really gonna not like it. But if you're a collector or an investor and you want to invest in something, like, try to find stuff you like, because if you're gonna be holding on to it, like those Evolutions boxes, like those are cool. Like I got those and I was like, those are gonna look cool on a shelf in my room one day. And sure enough, there they are. And now, you know, I've quadrupled my profits if I were to sell them now from what I paid for them. I got them for $30 each. Like, that's not a bad thing. So EX reverses. Hey, what? So next up on the list for top 5 things to keep an eye out for next year is going to be Delta species commons. All right, reason why I picked these 3 specifically is because they offer a pretty good price range, going from least expensive over to most expensive. So for example, Execute, go ahead, take a guess, mental guess, what do you think that card is worth market value as a Delta species EX Holland Phantoms Delta species Execute? It's 50 cents. 50 cents. That's it. All right, let's go to the next one. Charmeleon EX Crystal Guardians Delta species. It's a it's an electric type Charmeleon. Take a guess, let me know in the comments, pause the video. What do you got? $2 whole. Guys, you could spend probably $30 on some modern packs and not even get anything remotely close to being this cool. I mean, yeah, you could pull a holo, great, it's a holo. This is holo's technically, you know, technically better in terms of pull rate and ultra rare ratio, whatever. This is from 2006. You know, like, if I don't understand why people always make the argument like, oh, vintage is so expensive. No, $2.50, $2. Literally the price of a booster pack for 3 Delta Species cards. Like, I don't get it. I do get it. Okay, obviously, like a Holo Charizard from base set, you know, that's vintage, that's expensive, right? Or you know, first edition Shadowless or Shadowless, like Holos, like PSA 10s, whatever. You know, I get that. But any vintage card you find in the wild, you're not gonna probably get a mint card unless you find somebody that actually took care of their cards. You're gonna get somebody's, you know, playground trash and throw it around or flick it or trade it with their friends and put it in their back pocket. It's gonna be damaged, or, you know, there's just so many vintage cards out there that are completely beat. I don't know if any of these have any markings on them, but in terms of just like how hard these are to find, like, these are kind of hard to find, and that's kind of why I say keep an eye out, because like I went to my local game store, right, and I was able to find about 12 of these hidden within bulk that was like, you know, 25 cents a piece. So even if I was going to flip this, you know, and sell it for 50 cents, which, you know, with shipping, it's like, whatever, you're gonna be making money regardless just on the shipping. Cards so cheap, but I found a whole binder full, and I will throw that on screen. What you see here are all the EX Delta species that I found just spending a couple hours at my local game store sorting through their bulk bin. They often, at least at my store, they don't go through the bins regularly, so I have found Shadowless, commons, obviously Delta species, also rares. Like, a few times I've found EX reverse cards in there, so those are worth like about $5. Sometimes I've found normal holos. I mean, you know, if you have a place that you can go to just look through some bins, that's probably the best place to go. And that's how I was able to acquire so many of these Delta species cards. Plus, obviously, like, I did buy some on eBay, so like, you know, I'm trying to complete some sets, fill out some binders, so any duplicates, you know, that's always a good bonus to have. But at the end of the day, like, take a look at this Eevee, for example. All right, this is from 2005, EX Delta species, the actual set. Look at how minty this card is. Like, if I wanted to, I could grade this, and it would probably get an 8. Not sure what an 8 goes for. It's a common Delta species Eevee. It's not probably going to be worth a whole lot. But, you know, if you find one that's like a stamped reverse, or just a regular reverse, or even like a Shadowless holo, you know, yeah, it could be anything. It's just hard to come by these older cards in this great of a condition without them, you know, being completely scuffed, markered. You know, it just depends. So that's number 2. I know I'm taking a long time, I apologize, but there's a lot I gotta say. It's been a while, it's been a whole year. I've had a whole year to think about this video, guys, so bear with me, we're gonna get through it, all right? So, EX Delta species commons, specifically commons. The rares and the reverses, obviously, like the reverses I mentioned previously, they can be anywhere from $5 to $30, but EX Delta species rares, like holo rares, those are getting up into the 30s and 40s. And like, not that that's awful, but I'm trying to look out for you guys and help you get some steals and deals. So if you can replace your modern bulk for the same price with vintage bulk that actually is a Delta species, has some collectability value there, like, why would you not do that? That's what I'm saying. Use your body slam! They are going to be tag team. Hear me out, guys. Tag team. What are your thoughts? All right. I know they're kind of like weird. They were different. All right, but at the end of the day, when you have cards that look like this with 2 high in-demand Pokemon on them, you know, collectors like that kind of stuff. I mean, at least I do. And like, I like to collect uniqueness in the Pokemon trading card games. So, for example, thinking back to the Black and White era, you know, they had the blue bordered plasma cards. Like, I like those cards. I collect those cards because they're different, they're cool. And now they're going to silver borders. So it's not like they haven't done any different borders in the past for like common cards, because they did plasma for blue bordered team plasma cards, right? So, and they had Team Flare, which was like a, you know, minor thing in Phantom Forces, but like all these tag teams you can get for readily cheap, pretty cheap. I mean, like, I would say this one's, I haven't checked on price specifically, but I kind of did a glance over. They're anywhere from $3 to $20 depending on, you know, the duo. Like this one's going to be on the higher side because more people like Mewtwo and Mew, and then you know get full art variations of the tag teams as well. So like you know some of the higher end Pokemon tag teams like this guy might be worth a little bit more, but you know there's some cheap ones out there. Like this guy here, I picked up at my local game store in like a $3 section, and now I have a tag team Greninja and Zoroark GX. I mean, I'm trying to think like not immediate future, but like way down the road. So tag teams only a Sun and Moon thing, and it was towards the latter part of Sun and Moon. Similar to how they're doing Radiance now, like Radiant Pokemon. They didn't bring that out in battle styles. You know, it was a new thing for Sword and Shield was the Radiant and the V-Star, but V-Star is like a higher tier rarities, and maybe you compare it. But I think of like the Shinings from Sun and Moon, Shining Legends. You know, Hidden Fates was a little bit different. They didn't have like the same foil pattern that the Radiant Pokemon do now, same as the Shining Pokemon from Shining Legends, but just weird variations that they try to throw out there in the sets that come out. Trainer galleries, I think there's enough of them out there to kind of think, you know, obviously collect what you like. Don't listen to me. This is not financial advice for collecting. It's collecting advice to an extent, but I don't know. I think with trainer galleries, there's so many. Like the yellow bordered cards are worthless because there's just so many out there. Like you want to go for not necessarily trainer galleries, but I think like if you think back to Amazing Rares from Vivid Voltage, Shining Fate, you know, those two sets, I think those are going to be looked over. Like maybe pick up some Amazing Rares too. They're pretty cheap. Because I remember, you know, before the Panini times, right? I was able to get Shining Pokemon cards from Shining Legends, like Shining Genesect, Shining, what was the other one? Another cheap one, Volcanion. I could get those for like $5. Now they're going for anywhere upwards of $10 to $15. So like not a huge increase, but it's still more than what I paid. So like I don't care, you know what I mean? And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to help you guys see, hey, there's some value in some of these cheaper cards right now, so that you don't have to worry about getting them in the future, because they might go up in value, or they might not. They might tank. You never know. So next up on our list we have EX era non-holo rares. Okay, hear me out on these ones. Literally the same artwork as the rares would be from the set if they were holos. Like there's a holo in Crystal Guardians. Well, it's a deck promo, but there's still a holo with this Blastoise on it, right? Okay. E-Reader from Ruby Sapphire 2003. You'll never guess the price of this. You would think, oh, E-Reader, E-Series, you know, that's gonna be expensive. Nope, not. It's not at all. Oyster, same thing. I mean, EX Fire Red Leaf Green, a very sought after set, very highly in demand. And then EX Emerald, another super rare set to find in a sealed pack. You could pull this from a pack that you spend hundreds of dollars on, and that would be your hit. But guys, listen up. Listen to this. Okay, Blastoise being the most expensive, which is, you know, on the higher side, $7. Okay, a little on the higher side, but it's still cheaper than $10. Still cheaper than a 10 at your local Walmart or Target. It's still cheaper than an ETB for sure. So Blastoise, I mean, look at that artwork. They just have some of that, like, you know, old nostalgia feeling, you know. It's old school EX, like, wow, 2006, you know, Pokemon, you know, was a little bit on the come up side of things. I mean, they were around. I'll cut that out. So Blastoise being $7, what do you think this guy goes for? First ever EX set, 2003. Wizards of the Coast are out. Nintendo's first ever Pokemon set being EX Ruby Sapphire. What do you think this rare from a pack that costs probably, I think, $200 to $300 that you could pull goes for as a regular card? It's kind of funny. 71 cents. 71 cents. Not even $1. I mean, obviously, if you find it on eBay, you gotta pay shipping, and they'll probably bid you up because they're like, oh, there's no way that's worth $1. But according to TCG Player, 71 cents for this guy. Isn't that something? And everybody says, ooh, vintage is so expensive. I can't collect vintage. I have to buy modern packs and pull nothing. Isn't that great? All right. Sceptile, $2.30. Still cheaper than your common modern day booster pack. And lastly, Cloyster, $1.66. So literally, okay, Blastoise being the one exception because it's, you know, Blastoise, of course, but an Emerald, Ruby Sapphire, Fire Leaf Green card all together equals out to a booster pack. I don't know. You tell me. Would you rather have a Battle Styles pack or would you rather have these 3 cards? That's kind of what I'm trying to say here. Like, obviously, Battle Styles, you know, you could pull the alternate art. But, like, dude, I don't know. There's just something about these old school cards that just, they feel right to have in my collection. And I feel like if you have a lot of modern cards, then who's to say you can't collect some of these vintage cards? Because, like, let's be real. Most of us have probably gone to the store, bought a booster pack, and didn't pull anything. Kind of a common day thing, especially with Silver Tempest, personally. I haven't pulled anything. Maybe 1 card. A couple good cards out of, like, 2 booster boxes worth of regular sealed packs. I could have got more vintage. That's my point. PSA 8. I don't know why people hate on PSA 8. I think there's a happy medium between a 6 and a 10, and it's right at an 8, right? PSA 8, near mint. PSA 8's obviously a lot cheaper than 9s and 10s for whatever reason, and like, it might be just my weird fascination with even numbers or just weird number, like, I don't know. PSA 9 just doesn't look good because, like, if I got a 9, it's like, wow, that's almost perfect. Like, that's almost perfect, but it's not perfect. So, like, you know, if you have a 9, sell it, get a 10. Obviously, if it's a first edition Chalice Charizard, there's a lot of money involved. But something like this, maybe not so much. But my thing is, if a 10 has a lot higher value, why not just settle with an 8? That's just me. That's just my personal take. Because I have graded 8s. You know, I knew they weren't going to grade 9s or 10s. I was hoping, of course, but I knew they were going to grade 8s because something about a PSA 8, like, it's still a near mint to mint card. Obviously, you want 10s, but 8s are cool. This guy right here, 2 years ago, I paid $30 for him. Price to grade a card right now is $15. Plus, to get this card, that's another $5, and then to ship it all, you have to pay probably another $5. So why not just buy a PSA 8 on eBay of the card you want in a graded format? That's just my take. I did buy 7s, and then I kind of looked at them like, not a fan, because that's almost a 6. Like, at least 8 is high enough to where it's not a 6, but it's not so perfect almost that it's almost a 10, and it's a 9. It's like, ah, oh, crap. It's my, like, I could regrade this and get a 10. No, 8 is like pretty set in stone. 10s are up for interpretation. 9s also the same thing. 7s, yeah, maybe, but 8s, I feel like 8s are more, I mean, just from my personal experience grading recently, like, a lot of my cards, if they don't get 10s, they get 8s, and I've gotten a few 9s, like 2 or 3 9s. 8s, I've gotten like 7 to 10 out of the, you know, 20 that I've submitted so far. So I don't know, check into PSA 8s. If you have a card, like, for reference, I'm selling on eBay currently all my level X cards that I've had in my collection for a long time. If you're interested, it's up to $70 right now. Okay, I know that's a lot, but there's 35 of them here. All these are up for grabs in one lot on eBay. But here's the problem, guys. They're all damaged to light plate at the best. And if I wanted to grade any one of these single cards, it would cost me too much money. Like, even the Charizard I have, being a like $40 card near mint-ish. This guy, however, is not near mint. He's got a big dent somewhere. I don't remember where exactly. There's a dent on him somewhere. Yeah, right here in the front. Right there. See that? That line? That's damage. PSA is going to look at that and they're saying instant 5. Like, really. Any creases? 4. I literally just experienced this with my Umbreon EX that I graded. So, you know, some of these are better shaped than others, but obviously, like, that's not going to grade an 8. None of these are going to grade an 8. So why do I have them in my collection, you know? And that's part of my, that's a different sleeve, but that's part of my reason for selling all these. Like, that is not going to grade an 8. Like, let's be real. And it's a cool card, right? It's the Arceus Level X, you know, Diner Pearl promo or whatever. But, for example, if you wanted a PSA 8 Level X, you can get one for $30. And let me show you which one. This guy, Magnezone. Magnezone Level X in a PSA 8. That is a near mint card you can get for $30. That's cheaper than a modern day ETB. So PSA 8s, don't just go on eBay, humble yourself, check it out, be like, well, I don't know what this guy's up to. This guy's crazy. I'm not gonna buy a PSA 8. Why would I buy a PSA 8? That's not even a 10. That's not even a 9. But seriously, go check out PSA 8s, guys, on eBay. Pick a card that's readily available, like Level X, maybe, or just type in a card type like EX Delta Species Stamped Reverse PSA 8s. You can find them for $30, sometimes cheaper if you get them in an auction. So there's my take, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. 2023 is coming up. I'm super excited to see where we head with this channel, with other content, short form content. YouTube Shorts is coming out with, you know, a creator incentive, so I'm gonna be posting some more shorts on the channel. So if you like YouTube Shorts, check those out. I usually post every once in a while when I'm not doing a full, you know, full-blown video. Let me know what you think about this video. I know it's longer, but I gotta shed some of my wisdom on you guys, right? Hopefully this helped somebody somewhere, somehow. And if it did, let me know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you again for an incredible 2022. Have a great day. Peace.